All right, so here's our back lot, kind of where we keep all our side-by-sides and ATVs. So real quick, I'll just breeze over these, so I'm just doing my due diligence. This is some of the CF Motos here. So these are the 22s. This is a Z-Force 950 HOEX. Now these have a little bit of a step to get in. I mean, the distance, that's a 27-inch tall tire. So you are stepping up a little ways to get down in on any of these. You do have a grab bar here to kind of help. The nice thing with this is the room between here and here to get in is pretty decent. So I can go in butt first. Now I am a 5'11", 6 foot, right around there. I can sit on this and then scoot in, and it's not so bad. You know, if you're a little shorter, I know this video doesn't show me doing it, but if you're a little shorter, that might be a little more difficult. Now I know that this brand is not of much interest to you, but I at least want to show you and give you an idea. They do have the shorter version. This is a trail. These are 20. That's a 2022. Here's a 60-inch version. It's an EX. It is a little bit shorter. The seat is definitely lower to get into. This bar is adjustable. We could move this up so there's a little bit more space. But there is, the step over is about the same because, like I was mentioning in that Corvette, see how far down you are. Here's those U-Force 800s. They're probably slightly easier to get into, minus the door is on these rubber things. So when you open it, you're holding it the whole time, maybe brace it up against your leg. But they are easier to get into, but I don't think ultimately the riding experience is going to be good. You know, especially for when you're riding one of these things, you don't get to stand up. You're coming up to some bumps, your back is going to take whatever brunt the suspension can't, you know, flatten out for you. With a lower suspension travel machine with a basic shock, like what these guys come with, I mean, look at how much travel is there. There is very little shock there before the bumps. You're going to have a sore back if you put some miles on one of these. We have the U-Force 1000, which is probably one of the easier machines to get into. It's going to have the lowest step. I mean, very simple. A fairly wide area to get in. It does have seating for 3, but it is definitely more of a utility setup. You can still trail ride it, but it is geared a little bit more towards utility. Has a very large dump bed, whatnot, easy to access engine. But I understand, again, the concerns because of the brand. And I'm not, you know, I'm not going to try to change anyone's perception of that. I mean, that is what it is, and I can totally understand that. This is the new trail version. This one, someone didn't put the hood on all the way and it flew off on a test ride, so we're waiting for a hood. But that new trail version is actually another fairly easy one to get in. The door is nice and large, so you have a good opening. It's not overly tall. So as far as getting in and out of machines, there are some good options here. The Yamahas that we were just talking about, we have a few of them over here. So, we do have a Honda. This is that Talon that we had. There's no dump bed on it, and it's too wide for the trails here in the state of Wisconsin. Hence why this machine is the only Honda side-by-side that we have in stock, because it's a hard one to sell. Now, the R-Maxes, they are a little taller than some of the CF Moto stuff that I showed you. I'll go to this one. This is the limited. This is the most expensive one. But I'll just show you ease of getting in. You know, it's not too bad for a guy like me with bad knees. The one thing with these, they fixed it with the newer R-Max. The older Wolverine, it was a little bit more of a bugger. This guy right here, open from the inside. But the passenger side, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, I'm gonna put the phone down quick, make it look a little goofy. Okay, that is all the way in. All right, so you got this grab bar there, you got that opening. So it's a little narrow, but to get in, I'm gonna step up and just kind of pull myself in. It's not too bad, but you probably have more room from here to here in the Ranger than you do into this guy. Once you're in it though, I'm a bigger dude. I'm probably like 260. I fit pretty comfortable in this guy. You have a nice grab bar here that you can saw was adjustable. You push this guy in, then you can pull this out if you need it closer. So if you're coming onto a rougher area and you need to hold on to something, that works. This is their top tier machine, so this has some extra features than that other blue one does not. You know, this has the touchscreen navigation on it. This has a stereo, FM stereo, and Bluetooth stereo. Speakers in the door. You have a winch that it comes with. This top of the line one also has electronic suspension, so you can just click a button and the suspension does its thing automatically. Different throttle modes. So when you're out on the trail, you have a sport mode, a trail mode, and a crawl mode. Then there's your touchscreen navigation, your speedometer, gauge, everything there. We'll turn that guy off. I'm gonna power this off. Now, two models that I had in mind if we're talking RMAX is the Sport, which I was surprised again that we didn't have pictures on our website of, and the XTR. So the XTR, look at how close they parked that thing. Oh my goodness, wow. Someone was either an expert driver or lucky. But these two are both a tier down from the Limited. XTR is one tier down. This guy's about 2 tiers down. It doesn't have the navigation. That's where that radio control would have gone. That's where the speakers would go. But it doesn't have any of those things. If that stereo is an important thing, I would highly suggest that we look at the cost of what that stereo is and the installation versus what it costs to just upgrade to an XTR. Because if it's really close, with the XTR, you're getting a little bit different tire, a little bit more aggressive. They're both the same size, but you're also getting a worn winch from the factory. And the more aggressive tires, and you're getting the stereo. So if the price is close, well, with the addition of the winch, and if you don't mind the color, maybe the XTR is the way to go. But the Sport, you have a beadlock wheel, which is great when you're out on the trails. You have a really robust tire. It is a 30-inch tire with a 10-ply rating on it. So it's a very high quality tire, very puncture resistant. LED lighting, all your headlights and stuff are right down low. You have some marker lights up here. Interior wise is excellent. Again, these are very nice, comfortable machines to ride down the trails in. You have an adjustable seat for the rider or for the driver. The rider is a fixed seat, but again, adjustable comfort handle here. You have a glove box right there. A little bit of storage in the center console. You have cup holders that are really easily accessible. I'm not sure why that rubber piece is missing there. I'm guessing someone needed it more than they thought the machine did. We'll have to get one of those for this one. But you still have the 3 different throttle modes. Speedometer right here. Oh, sounds like this guy needs a battery. Yep, we'll have to get a battery for this one. Someone probably left the key on at some point. But headlight control, 4-wheel drive with diff lock. So nice machine. And then this also has a bed area that is a dump bed as well. So you still have some utility use with the RMAX and a really good trail rider. I wanted to fire one of these up so you can hear the engine. We'll go over to this one because this one's just easier to get in. It's not parked in as much as the other guy. That's how they're supposed to fire up. This is a twin cylinder 1000. It is not a V-twin, it is a parallel twin, but it has a 270-degree firing order crank, so it feels very torquey like a V-twin would. They make good horsepower and all that. I know you're not probably looking for a speed demon, but the nice thing with this is if you're going to cruise down the trail at 35 miles an hour, let's say, you have plenty more throttle left to go and you're not working the engine at all at that speed. Because something like this is probably capable of the mid-70s to maybe touching 80 miles an hour for top speed. Suspension on this, if we go back to, let's just A and B these real quick. Here's a shock on that CF Moto. Look at my hand, is very easily goes around it. My hand still goes around this, but it's much wider, much taller shock, much more travel. Now the travel in the shock, as far as the wheel travel, is out here. So the shock has a few inches, but the wheel goes up and down. I think in the front you got 15 or 16 inches up and down movement. The rear in these, if I remember right, there's 17 or so in the rear. But a nice wide, very robust, fully boxed A-arm. So very quality built, very quality construction, everything. You have a built-in rock rail down below. Same thing with the front A-arms. They're tubular A-arm design. They have, they're kind of high cut to give you a little bit bigger ground clearance. There's our marker lights. Let's turn the headlights on so you can kind of see. That's full high beam and everything on. But nice LED headlights in the dark, they're nice and bright. This hood comes off very easily. Right here, it's easier to do with two hands than one because it's so big. But you have accessibility right underneath that hood to your air filter and everything. The engine in this guy is located behind the occupants, so it keeps the heat a little bit further away versus having an engine like in the U-Force 800 that's literally right here. But nice machines. Again, the XTR is going to have that built-in stereo just like the Limited does. And we have an FM receiver in it, or Bluetooth. Has a built-in winch, all that good stuff. So on the trail, once you're in it and going, that's going to be a nice, comfortable ride. There are four-seater variants of these. Right now I am out of those, and I do not have any coming in currently. There may be a slim chance of possibly dealer trading one of those, but again, the hottest segment in side-by-sides right now is four-seater side-by-sides. So dealers may, if they have any, may not be willing to give them up. Tilt wheel on this guy as well. Power steering, of course. Just a very nice machine. Yes, they are spendy, but they are a very nice machine. So hopefully this kind of gave you a better idea on what the Yamaha RMAX is and kind of what we can offer you currently. You know what, let's take a real quick ride. Real quick ride, because I know that there's a Honda Pioneer, and I do want to show you what a Honda Pioneer is, since I have one here. Now, the Yamahas, by the way, are belt driven. You can see we have telemetry, everything displayed on here. I can use that touch screen to get into the navigation portion of it, the off-road trail section of it. By going right here, these might have to be updated, I don't know. But we'll go back home. So here is a Honda right over here. Here's some customer units. Some of these are sold, some of these are here for service. This particular Honda is one that just came in and is sold. So the Honda Pioneer, again, I don't have any physically here that are available, but if we could have every machine that we have access to right when we need it, this would be our best-selling machine. Getting into it is easy, like the CF Motos. No lip, very low step, nice wide area, seating for 3 in the front. It's a little less sporty. The gauge is a little bit on the smaller side. The 4-wheel drive system is pretty simple. It does have a turf mode, which is awesome. So if you're riding on the roads, or let's say you're using it in your yard, turf mode is nice because it unlocks your rear differential and it keeps you from tearing up your yard. So that's a really nice feature. You got locked 2-wheel drive, then you got an intelligent 4-wheel drive system that will kind of electronically control the front differential. So it will act like a locking diff when needed. And if you're going down the trail in 4-wheel drive, it will unlock it basically so you're not binding the drive system. You have automatic mode in here, and you also have paddle shifters, because this is the only machine that I'm showing you that has a geared transmission. It has no belts. It has a transmission similar to a car. It's a 6-speed automatic. Now, this one here has a bed mat in it currently, but this is a 5-seater, and how that works with Honda, notice we have a bed right now that we can dump if we wanted to. If I took this bed mat out, which this is an accessory, you can see below, that's how they are. These seats, this actually pulls up, and you'd have a seat that would come up, lock back in place, and you can fit two, adults can fit in the back. It's not the best for adult passengers. I mean, I would go down to the, a few miles with you in the back, but I wouldn't probably want to put on 100 miles. But grandkids fit back there really well, and that's why we sell a lot of these, is because either families looking for their kids or grandparents looking for their grandchildren. It's a machine that isn't a super long wheelbase like other 6-seaters are. So it's still maneuverable on the trail, but still has a seating capacity. Now the trail version, the trail edition of the Pioneer, they come in 2 different colors, this orange, and then they have a matte black and blue kind of color. They all come with a nicer Fox shock on them, so a little bit nicer suspension than the basic ones do. And the trails are the only versions that I have. Now here's where this guy makes the most sense. This machine that I'm showing you right now, of course, this has accessories on it, so they don't come with a roof. They don't come with this mid panel blocking off. We're waiting for a windshield for this guy right now to come in. So this guy comes with a winch from the factory, with the shocks, with the nice radial tires and the wheels. Set up like that, without the accessories, it is less money than a 2-seater Sport R-Max. Now the R-Max has a couple more features, like it has a roof from the factory, it has a rear view mirror, which that rear view mirror is an added feature from the Honda, and it has the radio in the R-Max. But pricing on the 2 is enough where you could add the features that make sense and probably still be maybe as much as the R-Max with more seating capability, or maybe even a little bit under, depending on how we option it. So just to show you options, I know I'm showing you a lot, but I want to make sure we find you the right machine. And if CF Moto is completely out of the question, the Honda Pioneer, if I had these in stock, I think would be the absolute best choice. But currently with what I have, the R-Max is a very good one too. So let me know what you think. This video went longer than I wanted, or originally thought it would, but I wanted to be thorough. So thank you guys for watching if you got all the way to this point, and I look forward to talking to you soon.